guys, so for those of you that have kind of wondered where all of this comes from as far as the silver and the process, so essentially, I do not buy my silver as sheets. I buy it as grains and melt it myself or smelt it and pour my own ingots, and then use a mill, which is back here, to press my sheets. It's a cold mill, works the same way as you see in the big foundries, um, but it's a process, and it's one of those situations where I chose to do it this way because there is so much scrap left after doing a pendant or earrings or whatever, cutting them out. So this piece right now is what am I? Somewhere in about right about 5.27 millimeters thick. Um, it's actually a thicker end down here. But before I get done, it will be right around between 1 and 1.5 millimeters thick. But it will be quite a bit larger, uh, and squared out a little bit more. Now, this isn't the perfect way of doing it. I'm not going to say it is, but it does work. And in the long run, saves you quite a bit of money. So I'm going to go ahead and mill this down. I'm not, I'm not going to have you sitting here watching me do that. Get it milled down, and then we're going to decide what we want to create with it. I'm actually thinking about a Norse pendant, and so we'll see what that looks like. I'll be back. Okay, so uh, took that piece over to the rolling mill, and now I have this. So it is, oh, let's see here. Zero that out. 1.30. Um, I like them a little thicker because it lets me round my edges around and just makes for a cleaner looking piece. Obviously, when you do that, then you're using more silver per piece. Uh, but it increases the quality and the look and the feel of the piece itself. So, let me do some uh, design work real quick, and then we will look at that. Okay, folks, so this is the design that I'm working on. Move this over here where you can see it a little better. Pretty cool looking design. And we're running it right now. Just here. So again, this is a fairly thick piece of silver, so it's going to take a little bit to run. Um, I made it thick because it's going to have a fairly thin inside. We'll look on this here. see here, this is a test piece that I've done in thin aluminum. I like to run these on a test. Now, originally it looked like this, and I was a bit worried about it being just too thin. And so what I did is I went into Lightburn and used my offset on the outside line and just did a 0.50 offset to the outside and then deleted the inside line. And it didn't change the image all that much, but it gives it a lot more structural integrity. Yeah, that word. So hopefully we're gonna see a lot better in here. I gotta go ahead and reframe this and run continuously and start again. So that is where we're at right now. I figure it's going to take about 20 passes, and this large of a piece, most likely we are looking at somewhere in about 35 to 40 minutes to completely finish the piece as far as cutting it out. And then an estimated about an hour of going in with my rotary tool and rounding the shapes out and getting them good and clean. If you don't have one, if you're looking into doing jewelry, then, you know, they're out there anywhere from $50 over at Harbor Freight, going up to $300 to $400. It's completely up to you as to how high you want to go. Now, I will say that when you get one and you go ahead and you pay for a more expensive version, you're going to get a lot better quality. The one that I have is a Harbor Freight. And, you know, it doesn't do bad. This hangs on a pin and sets up, and then this tool here is your rotary. They have some that if you go ahead and get a higher quality, this is a lot more maneuverable and fits your hand much better. But for the amount of jewelry that I do, which isn't a lot, you know, it's not a full-time thing. I do it on the side as a hobby. So I'm not super concerned with going out and spending a lot of money for one of these. Now, that being said, I would definitely suggest going out and getting the better quality bits for the machine, because they're going to be truer, more round. They're not going to vibrate as much, and that will definitely make a huge difference in your end quality. But you're going to need some polishing bits and polishing stones, and you're going to obviously need some really, really fine diamond tips to be able to get into the small areas and clean those up as well. I'm trying to keep these videos short and plug them together so that the whole thing isn't so long. So I'm going to once again clock off and wait till this finishes, and then I'll bring in the finished piece as far as the cut, and then I'll go in and use my Dremel tool and or rotary tool, I should say, and round everything out, clean it up, and show you the finished product. Okay, so right now we are about 10 passes for the inside. Now, if you've seen any of my other videos, then you know that I like to separate my inside cut from my outside. That way I'm sure that all of the inside cuts are done. When you're working with silver and other sheet material, that sheet, even though it's in the clamp, can bow just slightly or whatever while it's being cut. And the result is sometimes you don't get an even cut all the way around. And you'll wind up with burrs or something like that in there. And with such fine detail, trying to get in there and work a piece out or whatever that didn't cut all the way can really mess you up. So I, again, will run my inside separately from the outside. And basically what I do is I just shut my outside layer off, let it run the inside until it's cut all the way, and then go ahead and run the outside. Now in this case, as you can see, I did go ahead and make an initial mark on the outside, just so I could kind of get an idea of what it looks like and everything. Now, if you haven't done so, probably one of the most important parts about all of this, as far as your laser is concerned, is to go in there and do all your calibrations. Make sure that your framing laser is lined up with your cutting laser or marking laser, whatever you want to call it. But you want to know exactly where that's going to mark at. And that means taking the time to go in there and do the calibrations and everything. And Alex over at Laser Everything has some great videos on using light burn with the Galvo, or in the case if you're using EasyCAD, that also. So there's no reason for me to go in and show exactly what he's doing, and he can explain it a lot better than I would be able to do so anyway. So I'm not going to just keep jabbing through all of this. This type of work takes much too long to be recording fully. I would like to. I've shown some other videos to give you an idea of how long it does take, but I'm not going to do that any longer. So I'm going to sign off, let this finish up, and then I'll be back. Okay, folks, we've got them done. So altogether, whoops, sorry about that. It took 73 passes. That's for the inside and outside. I would say it was somewhere along the lines of 40 on the inside, and the remainder was on the outside. But total length of time was right about right at an hour, I guess. I had stopped a couple of times to I'm out here with no air conditioner, and my laser was running pretty hard. So just to be on the safe side, I went ahead and stopped and gave it a break for 10, 15 minutes. Also, I needed to go inside, so I don't ever leave my laser running if I'm not right here with it. So, um, but yeah, and this turned out really nice. I mean, I had to do a little bit of polish and stuff on it, but all in all, it turned out real nice. Now, if you recall, I had done a video earlier talking about using nitrogen, and I had set this up and hit start before I even thought about what I was doing, and I did not have my nitrogen set up. Since it already started the run, I just did not want to accidentally bump it or something like that and mess the whole thing up. So I just ran it without. Uh, Folks, I'll tell you again, I'll say it again. If you're looking for a good laser, or if you're looking to upgrade your laser, then I would definitely talk to Pascal. Uh, you know, this JPT 50 watt that I got from him is just incredible, and it makes me being able to do these kind of things possible. And for those of you that I've seen a post asking about a 30 watt, um, I do not know why, but a 30 watt just is not powerful enough to actually cut silver. I believe that the reason why is because it's not getting past that certain melting point, and just not reaching that part, and so it's just not making the cut. Uh, I don't know if that's the case, but I do know that the 50 watt will do it, whereas my 30 watt Rakis would not. Um, so 70 total passes, 100 watts or 100% power, 100 speed, 33 on the step or on the wobble, and 0.050 in the step on the wobble. You folks keep lasering. Have a great evening, and catch you the next time.